Hey guys, Keith again with Bulletproof RC. I want to do a short video to share a product with you guys. There's a hobby shop called Dixieland RC. Highly support this hobby shop. They're local to Georgia here in Tifton. They always show up at Georgia Rock Zombie events and USTE and several other functions all over the nation. But wanted to share this with you because what they did, they put together a hard body RTR truck that you can select what options you want on it, but it's a very capable hard body truck, and I just think it's phenomenal. This hard body is available through several different sellers out there. I'm sure if you've been in the hobby for a little while, you've seen it sold by Endura across seas or Integy here in the States, and it's also sold by Extra Speed amongst a few. The price varies quite a bit, and you're left with trying to make this body work with a chassis because it isn't intended for any specific chassis. But what Dixieland RC and a few of his partners did was they took a Gmade Gs02 chassis and they did all the homework for you, put it all together, and I think it's a great product. When I picked up this one, it was number 5 of a list of serialized RTRs that he offered. I think moving forward, he's planning on having more selectable items on the table, which means you can go on his website, pick the hard body that you want, whether it be a 2-door like this one, and they come in multiple colors as well, or you can get the 4-door option, which has several options as well, whether it have a full roof or just the roll cage, whether it have cage doors, angry grill or the normal grill, and so on. He also has several options on there for tires, wheels, electronics, and so on. So anyway, I'm just going to spin around and show you this truck because I wanted to point a few more people towards Dixieland RC because I want to get the word out that he's doing this. Now, he's calling this truck the Trail Warrior, and like I said, mine was number 5. Mine came with a serialized license plate, and like I said, you see the name Trail Warrior on the back. There are some decals. The Jeep decals were added by me, so you won't get the truck with that, and you won't get the truck with the scale details like the wood and the little items in the back or the scale driver. I added those as well. But the rest of what you see here is how the truck came. It has opening doors, and I was able to fit a 7-inch action figure in there. I did have to remove his feet because of the lack of room down there, but the Schwarzenegger guy is kind of big anyway, so you might fit some of the 7-inch action figures in there without modification. My particular truck I picked in metallic orange, and mine came with the Angry grill on the front. There are a number of 3D printed parts that he and his partners have worked out on this truck. It is affixed to a hinged system, and like I said, those are 3D printed parts, but they're high quality. And inner fenders, sliders, front bumper, front fenders, and also a spot for a Reefs 99 winch up front as well. Again, when you go on his website, and I'll share a link in the description, you actually pick the electronics you want in this rig, and the amount of money you spend on this rig can be all dependent on you. But like I said, if you're in the market for building a hard body vehicle, then you know that this can get quite expensive. I'm going to pull the body all the way off, so I'll pause the video because the camera's in one of my hands. There is screws back here in the back bumper. There's 2 of them that you remove to take the body completely off. So I'm going to pause the video and get the body off, and we'll show you a few more details about the chassis. Okay, here is a little closer look at the chassis without the body. That way I'm a little freer to move around the chassis without it on there. Again, you get a 3D printed front bumper. I did add the fair lead on there. It just has a slot in it from the shop. And again, a little closer look at the 99 micro winch location. Mine did come as an RTR, so it came with the Holmes motor, the Power Hobby 633 servo. It did not come with a Spectrum receiver. He offers a hot RC radio combo. I opted out on that, went with my own Spectrum because I have a Spectrum remote already. There's a Charisma ESC in here, and I was a little skeptical of the Charisma ESC. I almost opted for a Hobbywing 1080 WP, but to my surprise, this ESC is great. It comes with a program card and actually has more programmable features on it than a Hobbywing 1080 WP. And it even has a selectable BEC of output of 7.4 volts. And so I'm pretty happy with that. Other than that, the chassis is pretty much stock. He locks out the transmission in the first gear. And he mentioned in his video that there may be an option for a 2-speed down the road. But, you know, most hard body trucks, you're not wanting to get too much speed out of them anyway, because you don't want to damage the body. Pretty much drive these a little bit more carefully than I would a Lexan body rig, and want to keep everything intact and looking good. You want your scratches to be minor. You know, you pretty much drive a hard body RC like you would a 1-to-1 in the real world. You don't want to just go flailing through the woods and hitting every obstacle out there full speed. Oh, these boom racing wheels, I did add SSD brake rotors behind there. Those do not come with it as well. But the shocks are stock. He uses Traxxas springs and limiters inside to keep the vehicle at the right ride height. And again, he has went through and put Jim's bearings throughout the vehicle. So you have high quality bearings in it. Boom racing badass steel pivot balls where applicable. I think he said some of them wouldn't work up front, but all in all, everything does have metal pivot balls, and it is in very, very good rigid condition. But as far as the body goes, a little closer look. This portion of the rear bumper mounts into the original slot here, and again, that's how you get your hinge system. The body, ignore the wires, I've put LEDs in here, but the body is mounted in there with 3D printed parts as well, and the bumper is actually finished out, and that completes your hinge system. As far as the front goes, it mounts very similar to an SCX-10 III. 2 body pins go down into the chassis. And there's your tabs right there. And it's pretty easy to put your pins in and hinge the back, so it's not a huge hassle to change a battery out on the trail. And like I said, everything fits nice and tight and fits at the proper ride height. You know, a lot of the RC 4-wheel drive cars you get with hard bodies, they're sitting way too high and the suspension's way too stiff, and you've got to do all these modifications. Not the case here, guys. The suspension's great. It sits the way it should, has plenty of flex for a hard body truck, and will definitely outperform a TF2. Here's your battery location, fits many different sizes of batteries, so that works out really well. And I think that'll do it for this video, guys. I'm going to pause the video and get the body back on, and we'll conclude. Okay, guys, I think that wraps up this video, but wanted to share this item with you. I figured some of my subscribers might be interested in acquiring a hard body rig like this. And please go over to Dixieland RC's website and check out. He's got it listed. Currently, there are none in stock because he's preparing for USTE. If you're planning to go to USTE, he's planning on bringing several of these out there to show off. And I think early next year he'll be assembling these things for folks again. So Go check it out. Look at the options he's got up on the page, and get ready to get you a awesome hard body rig. As always, like and subscribe to Shoe Fits, my friends, and have a great day.